Lieutenant Matt Dobbs, Dobbs.
Okay, and first of all, can you just trace us back to when you guys got the original call?
At about 6:49 this morning, we received a 911 call from a residence here in the 2100 block of Flintridge Drive. There is no communication with the caller, however, the dispatcher could hear some arguing in the background. Officers are dispatched to the scene, and while they were en route, a relative who lives next door called the police also. He reported hearing arguing from the neighboring residence and what he believed to be the sound of a nail gun. Officers arrived on scene approximately a minute after that. They got no response at the door. They went around to the back of the house where they could look in a window and they could see a child down covered in blood. They broke out a front window and forced entry into the residence. Once inside, they found several people down, suffering from apparent gunshots. We're still working out the details on who's inside. We do know that we have a 31-year-old male, a 29-year-old female, and a 3-year-old child dead inside. 3 other children were transported to local hospitals. A 5-year-old and a 9-year-old have also died, and the 11-year-old is undergoing surgery.
So we have a total of 5 people who have passed.
Correct.
And one's still alive.
Correct.
Do we have a suspect, sir?
There are no outstanding suspects at this point.
Can you expand on that?
We
Are
believe
they in custody or are they dead?
we believe the suspect is probably one of the deceased.
And all family members?
Yes.
Can you talk about the weapon? You said a nail gun was heard over the 911 call, correct? Or on radio?
The resident next door believed it was the sound of a nail gun.
Is that the only sort of weapon that was found or seen?
A handgun was found inside, and all the victims were suffering apparent gunshot wounds.
So it wasn't an actual nail gun, it just sounded like a nail gun?
Correct. That's what he reported as hearing.
Are you able to tell us the caliber of the handgun found?
I don't know that at this point.
Okay.
And the one that is still with us, how old are they?
The 11-year-old is undergoing emergency surgery.
So what happens now? I mean, obviously you guys have the very quick job, but what happens now? How is the investigation?
We'll investigate the incident, do a professional job, try to determine the facts of what happened here, what led up to this. Obviously, the loss of any life is a tragedy, and a situation such as this even compounds that even more.
And how are the other family members?
The family members are obviously extremely distraught, as are the officers who were here.
I was going to ask the officers that found the kids, will they be able to seek counseling?
Yes, we'll arrange some support services for them. Thankfully, our department has a very robust peer support and chaplain program that will assist them in dealing with the emotions that they'll obviously be going through.
Can you talk about, was this one nuclear family living in one household, or, how many people lived in the household, etc.? Family makeup.
We do know that the mother and the 4 children lived in the house, and it was a kind of an addition to the main structure where other family members lived.
Okay, so they lived maybe in like a granny flat to
Yes.
the main house.
Correct.
All family.
Yes.
And how many people total lived in that whole household together?
I don't know that at this point.
But 5 of those family members have died.
Yes.
And then the
How many
6th one is,
survived?
There's one surviving child right now, the 11-year-old.
but still in surgery.
Correct.
And the family was in the main home then, from your understanding?
Yes, the rest of the family lives in the main home.
And you said motive still searching, but any indication or any previous calls to this home that you're aware of?
We're still very early in the investigation. That obviously is something that we will be looking into.
Do you know where any of those people were shot?
Yes, but I'm not going to release it at this point.
Are you able to tell us now whether you think it was the male or the female who opened fire?
At this point, we're unable to tell. That'll be part of the investigation and looking at the scene and the evidence, try to determine who was firing the weapon.
And you said that a 5-year-old and a 9-year-old are deceased. Do you have the sex on those?
They're all of the children that have passed were male.
So 3, 5, and 9, and then the 11 survived.
Correct.
And the 11-year-old is?
A male also. Yeah. All of the children are males.
Anything you'd like to add, sir? Thank you so much for your time.
Much. Which wounded?
Chief's here? So you're talking the exterior in the driveway? Is that the right spot? What's your name, ma'am?
My name is Sonia,
Sonia, spell your first and last for me.
S-A-N-Y-A. Last name is Gordon, G-O-R-D-O-N.
And tell us a little bit about what you heard this morning.
First I heard some gunshots, but I thought I was dreaming. Then when I woke up, my brother was like, "Oh, sister, it's police outside." So we came outside, seen a whole bunch of police cars. Then we waited for a little while. The ambulance pulled up. The next I seen ambulance taking people out the house. They took one body to the ambulance. They took another body to the ambulance, and then they took a boy back here because it was right in front of the car. He wasn't moving to the ambulance. And then the last body they took, and you see a little baby just lifeless. They took him with sirens off and they drove off. And I was like, the kids saying, I heard them say it on the thing. It was kids might be dead, you know. And I was like, I felt sick to the stomach. Like that's a tragedy, you know. How this can happen, you know. These innocent babies can, you know, just get taken away from us.
Did you know the kids?
No, I didn't know them personally. I just seen them, you know, playing right here with football, riding their bikes, you know, stuff like that. I just see them outside chasing their dogs sometimes. I didn't know them direct. My brothers and them, my mom and them knew them, but I didn't because I'm new to the area. So, you know, just very sad, you know.
Tell me a little bit about, I mean, this is a pretty good neighborhood, nothing like this, huh?
No, and that's why it's, you know, it's real sad, you know, and I feel for the parents that the kids have around here. It's a lot of kids that they have to tell their kids that, you know, they ain't gonna play with these kids anymore because they're not here, you know. It's real sad because they came outside every single day and played with every single neighbor kids around here, from down the block to down the block, down the corner, you know.
What crosses your mind when you see a kid get taken to an ambulance like that? I mean, you're with your daughter right now.
Oh my God, my heart just dropped down to my gut. It's just, it just feels so sad, and I feel lifeless, and just it's sick to my stomach. It's just, it's just.
Tell me a little bit about the gunshots. What do they sound like to you? Can you tell me?
I was really asleep, so I don't know. I just heard a pack, so I didn't, you know, I was asleep, so I didn't really, you know, I just mostly heard the stuff, and I just heard the sirens, mostly the sirens when the ambulance and the police came. That's what I heard.
And we could go over that just one more time.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
So the implication is there are people still alive inside that.
Talk to the guy. Everybody's dead except for the 11.
But she said so many people were taking the ambulance.
So that's where ONSCENE
Good to come back. You got it.
Cut. For real right now?
Everybody look at Will.
Okay, sir, if you could, please tell us your name and spell your last name and speak loud, please.
My name is Gabriel Durazo, Durazo.
Thank you, sir. So tell us what if you saw anything or what you heard and why are you here?
I'm here because I live right down the street, and I just woke up this morning to a lot of sirens and police cars around my neighborhood, and it's nothing abnormal. It's happened before, but to this magnitude, it's a little different. But
So there's been shootings around here before?
yeah, there's shootings, and helicopters.
Yeah, but nothing like this.
Nothing like this. I've been here for 3 years. Nothing like this. And it's sad that there's kids involved. That's the saddest part about this whole thing, because there's domestic violence and people having their problems every day, but it's to a different level now.
So what was your first thoughts and feelings when you found out the family, what had happened?
That it was sad to hear that these kids had to die over someone's selfishness, and the fact that I have kids myself just hits home that like it's very sad to see kids bear this kind of trauma.
Are your children around the same age?
Yeah, I have a 3-year-old daughter, a 5-year-old daughter, and a 17-year-old, all girls, but yes, it definitely hits close to home.
Did your kids know these kids?
No, they didn't know them personally. We would just see them when we would drive by, and they would be out in the streets playing and stuff like that. But we didn't know them personally. We just would see them, and that's about it.
I mean, they're just kids, but did they always seem to be happy or?
Yeah, they would play outside. They have a dog, and constantly just like interacting, riding their bikes outside, and sometimes late where you would think like, hey, these kids should be home, but for the most part, like they're living a kid life, on the outside. Who knows what's going on behind the doors.
Have you told your family?
Everybody knows, even not my 3-year-old, but my 5-year-old, she kind of got wind of it because the neighbors started talking to my wife about it, and now she's like talking about kids dying, and so she's kind of like, there's kind of like a little eerie feeling in the home right now. It's just about lingering, possibly spirits around, or just.
Yeah, but you told her she's safe?
I told her she's safe, definitely, and they just want me to be home, to be honest, and I told them, I'm going to come over here real quick and check it out, and so I'm here.
Anything you'd like to add, sir?
No, I mean, overall, like every neighborhood, every neighborhood has there's cases of violence and domestic violence, and I wouldn't picture this neighborhood being such of a bad neighborhood. It's just a bad case, of a family, duel here. So, yeah.
Sir, thank you so much for your time, and go hug your family.
Yes, I will. We're about to go to a party right now and have some fun and forget about all this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
They're moving. They're moving. They're moving.
The one that came on at 3 o'clock.
Get out of here. Thanks, man. I'm pulling out. Thanks so much.
How long you been on the force? About 2 years. Yeah, you'll be here for a while.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
In a couple of years, you'll be investigating this stuff.
Oh, thank you.
But for now, you need pizza.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Really hot, guys.
Here's some napkins.
You guys are, wait, sorry. Thank you.